morning. I'm Norah O'Donnell, and thank you for being with us. We do want to begin tonight with the dueling visits at the southern border by the two frontrunners in this year's election, showcasing the record number of migrant crossings that are overwhelming resources along the border and in major cities across the country. President Biden was in Brownsville, Texas, where he issued a political dare to Donald Trump to join him in pressing House Republicans to help secure the border by passing the Senate's bipartisan security bill. Now, 325 miles away, Trump was in Eagle Pass, where he took a much different approach, unleashing attacks on Biden, Democrats, and migrants, but not proposing a legislative solution. A record 2.4 million migrants were apprehended at the U.S.-Mexican border in 2023. Immigration has become the top issue for many voters heading into the 2024 election. CBS's Ed O'Keefe is traveling with the president, and he'll start us off tonight from Texas.
The president and the former president who wants to replace him in the White House played the blame game today along the U.S.-Mexico border.
This is a Biden invasion over the past 3 years.
President Biden said it was Donald Trump who urged House Republicans to kill the bill that would have beefed up security at the border.
It's time for the speakers and some of my Republican friends in Congress who are blocking this bill to show a little spine.
After a record number of illegal crossings last year, President Biden, toward the border in Brownsville, Texas, is trying to show he's addressing an issue that more than 60% of voters call a very serious concern. Just hours before the president's arrival here in Brownsville, U.S. Border Patrol and Texas State Police say they stopped people on the other side of the border from bringing across drugs. But Chris Cabrera of the Border Patrol said that with illegal crossings into this part of Texas down recently, the president has come too late.
But I think the timing's a little off. I mean, if he would have come a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Trump, who visited Eagle Pass more than 300 miles away, continued exploiting a crisis that he couldn't solve either, hoping it'll put him back in the White House. Allies say he's planning mass deportations and detention camps, if elected. Today, he sought to falsely connect President Biden to the recent murder of a Georgia nursing student by a Venezuelan migrant who entered the country illegally in 2022.
The monster that charged in the death is an illegal alien migrant who was led into our country and released into our communities by crooked Joe Biden.
The president, who didn't address Trump's attacks, said they should work together.
Join me, or I'll join you, in telling the Congress to pass this bipartisan border security bill. We can do it together.
As president, Trump severely restricted asylum and required migrants to await their court hearings in Mexico. When President Biden took office, he reversed those policies, but is now considering employing an executive power used by Trump to suspend asylum. The former president also met with Texas Governor Greg Abbott today, who's at war with the Biden administration for implementing his own border crackdown, installing National Guard troops, and razor wire barriers in Eagle Pass. But we spoke to local resident Adam Rodriguez, who says concerns there are overblown.
We've raised our kids here, you know, and there's never been any criminal element. You don't have to worry about walking down the street.
Notably, Governor Abbott's border crackdown suffered a legal setback just today as a federal judge rejected a new Texas law that would allow state police to arrest and prosecute people crossing the border illegally. Critics call it a form of racial profiling. The governor says he'll appeal the case all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. Nora?
A big issue at O'Keefe. Thank you. While the two leading presidential candidates are focusing on the border crisis in Texas, we've learned that migrant crossings are shifting toward California, which has seen a sharp increase in recent months. CBS's Adam Yamaguchi reports from along the southern border in the Golden State.
These migrants are taking their first perilous steps on U.S. soil as they navigate a steep and rocky maze along California's southern border.
For the last few minutes, we've seen at least 50 or so people come down. This pretty rugged, punishing terrain here.
They arrive by the dozens at this border gap roughly 70 miles east of San Diego. This entire region saw nearly 25,000 illegal crossings in January alone from countries around the world.
So this woman is from Brazil. She just came down the ridge here, and she was explaining to me that she was in Tijuana and got injured. She was essentially caught in the crossfire between warring gangs and the police.
Despite the dangers, many are now choosing routes through California rather than cross at the Texas border.
It's better than the other border.
Better meaning easier?
Not easier. There's nothing easy about it.
たまには黒かおちゃん